Hey guys, this is John Corabi from the Dead Daisies, and you're listening to Rock On Radio. Turn it up!
I guess we are. Hey, thank you. Yes, we are on the air. Hello. Welcome to Rock On Radio. It is Sunday. It is 7 o'clock. It is still Heightstown out there, right?
Still Heightstown.
I am your host, Danny Coleman, and this is Rock On Radio, live on COARadio.com and SocietyBytesRadio.com. BYTES. I'm joined, as always, by the man who captains the ship, Engineer Art.
Good evening.
What's going on? What's going on in your captainship?
Just a beautiful day. We should be doing
Oh
this
my
outside.
God, it was gorgeous. You're right. We need to do that. We need to start doing remotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We can go from here to there. Yeah, we're here. Not even lose the Wi-Fi. And like Sting and
Share.
Cher, yes, we have Claire. Producer Claire has
It
arrived.
rhymed anyway.
Claire is on the air.
Yeah. Whoa, look at you getting all whatever you want to call that.
Fancy.
Fancy. Ooh, Pinky's out. Fancy. Art, we have a YouTube feed? Pinky's
We
out.
do.
Ah,
Yes, we
I
do.
see that. Okay. And they can find that how?
By going to COARadio.com and you will see the YouTube link on your right hand side.
And there you go. And you click on it, and then you'll see this.
Whether you want to see that.
Okay, they
That's
don't
the
want to see that. See my mug going. But that's all right. Rock On Radio is brought to you by Jody Weber, CPA, as well as actress Eileen Sullivan, O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of Mount Holly. They're the official caterers of Rock On Radio. In particular, the official caterers of the Rock On Radio Christmas Spectacular.
It's really
Nice
wonderful.
place.
Really good food.
It is.
Great place. Been there many times.
I was there last night, actually. I had a retirement party that I
5 minutes from my
60
house.
years.
That's true.
We were lucky enough to play there a couple times, thanks to you, Dean.
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh? You
Remember?
guys jam there. Yeah, they like you guys a lot.
Uh-huh.
Just in case you're wondering, this is Joe Zook and Billy Holt in studio. Woo! Well, we will get to them in a minute. Rock On Radio is also sponsored by Johnny's Auto Glass and High Tech Electronics, purveyors of the safety and sound earbuds. Rechargeable earbuds that light up. They actually,
Whether you want them
and
to
this
or
is
not.
one of my favorite words, pulsate with the music that
Gotcha.
you're listening to. They're great for joggers, bikers,
Yeah.
hikers, walkers, drunks. What?
Golfers. Golfers.
Gophers. Yeah.
Mass
And-
murderers.
And,
Just about everyone.
and live natural CBD oil, live and natural, and
And
the Custom Candle Company
Right.
of New York.
right.
I want to thank them for sponsoring us. Them candles are magnificent. The one I gave away at the happy hour this past Thursday at the Nottingham Tavern was in a Grey Goose bottle.
Oh, nice.
And it stood, for those of you watching on radio at home,
This high.
it's, I'll go this way because Art's coming. He's not, no, now you're, anyway, it stood, it was a very large,
Nice. Who won it?
I think her name was Chris. I think. I handed her the tote bag, which had a Rock On Radio tote bag, which had a magnet, a coffee mug, a Dunkin' Donuts gift card, the infamous lube, a couple of CDs.
Got the grand prize.
And
Nice.
the safety and sound headphones and
The candle.
the candle and
I'm going to have to get you some tchotchkes to throw.
you bring them on. We'll throw them in there. Make City of Angels a sponsor of a happy hour.
Yeah.
That's where I'll give you some pamphlets.
We drink responsibly.
Call me in the morning.
Yeah, there's no irony there.
Yeah.
But I handed her the bag and she looked at me and she says, What, you want me to hold this? I said, no, that's your prize. You mean all this? I said,
Mhm.
just for showing up.
Mhm.
She's like, wow, that's what I want. And she chose a Rock on Radio tank top. So she got all of the Rock on Radio merch. Pens were in there. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Business cards, thanks to you.
Swag, right?
Swag bag.
Rock on Radio swag.
Yeah.
Yeah, who else are we sponsored by? What did I miss?
I
Oh,
was-
Zen Archer Hot
Zen
Sauce. The only radio program sponsored by a Grammy Award winning hot sauce maker.
Did you ever get the hot sauce from?
Wendy?
Chef
No,
Wendy?
she said she sent it out. I never got it.
I think we're.
And she
on
hasn't
the,
called. There could be a connection.
I think we're on the do not call list.
Think so?
We're blocked.
I don't have his hot sauce. I can't call. Who else? Am I forgetting anybody? Claire? This? Oh,
Nope.
was
We're
that
good.
bitter?
It's not water. It's lemon splash something or other.
Lemon vodka.
Yeah, it's got a little flavor to
Ooh,
it.
it does.
Oh, so you're trying to make our guests pucker up.
I'm sorry, I did it myself. I'm like,
Here, drink this and talk.
Ooh.
No.
Hey, right?
it just took me totally by surprise. I thought it was going to be water. Woo!
Hey, that goes with your Mick Jagger friend.
Oh no! I haven't take pictures.
Oh, boy.
Try that again.
Rocco, if you want to give us a call tonight, if you want to reach out to us, you can do so like Karen did last week
Yes.
through our website, which is
DCROR.com, which stands for Danny Coleman's rockonradio.com.
either
You can
one
go
of
either way.
those. Either one of those will.
Mhm.
If you need your fingers to exercise, the quick brown fox jumped over top of
Lazy dog.
the fire dog or whatever
Mhm.
dog that was on fire, whatever those typing class things were. You can type out Danny Coleman's Rock on
I
Radio.
watched you type. You
.com.
really don't know what that is.
They had typing back then.
It went.
One
Come on, I had to say.
I was last night at this retirement party. I was actually hanging out with my typing teacher's son. Go figure. And what else? Oh, Facebook. Facebook.com/Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio 2, the number 2. Twitter and Instagram @Rock on Radio, all one word, all capital letters.
And you can
And there
find
you
all
have it.
those links on DCROR.
DCR, along with pictures of the 10th anniversary bash.
Yep.
And what else?
We have our event calendars out there.
Mhm.
We have crazy pictures of all of us crazy people. And we have Rockdemonials.
Rockdemonials from the 10th anniversary show.
Different pictures.
They're
Your
still
Rock
there?
on Chili. Our Christmas spectacular pictures.
So the whole year in pictures,
Kind of.
essentially.
Yeah, that's my job.
I'm glad you take a lot
A
of
happy
pictures.
hour.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
A few pictures, not too many.
Oh, I see that. Our good friend Rick Winnow played the happy hour Thursday. He played the retirement party I was at last night. And he was the featured artist at Helen O'Shea's Coffee House open mic in
Oh, nice.
Hopewell
Nice.
today.
Cool. And he's
So,
going to be a
There's a
cafe
Winnow
artiste,
alert. He
too.
could be in the area,
Woo, woo, woo.
but that's that. All right. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio. If you want to give us a call, do so at 609-241-7103. A little later in the program, we will be giving away a CD, which is entitled Good Morning Blues from this man right here, veteran Trenton blues musician, Joe Zook.
I'm speechless.
That's a first. And Joe has brought along with him Billy Holt, his bass player.
That's correct.
Now, if you're speechless, that's really not going to work well.
I know. It impacts on the program, I think.
Yeah. True story.
Don't worry,
And
it doesn't stay quiet for long.
true story. And if he's listening, because I know he listens, my good buddy, Joey Kilday. Now, I love Joey Kilday to death. I've known him since I was 13 years old. And I brought him on this program when I was back on AM down in Burlington County at the Fountain of Life Ministries. They had an AM radio
Okay.
station in there, and that's where this show started. When they switched from Christian gospel music to
You.
like a free format. Yeah, to me.
Whoa.
So let's see how that worked out. And anyway, so I have Joe on the program. Now, Joe and I can talk for hours about music, about, our friends, about, various relationships we've had with people over the years. So I'm thinking this is a no-brainer, right? I bring Joe into the studio and I'm like, And on the air right now with us, we have my guest, Joe Kilday. And Joe looks at me and goes,
Okay.
what do you say, Joe?
That'll work.
Hi. He nodded at me at first. I was like, oh, no.
Not gonna go well.
Well, we got him to loosen up. So, yes, that's the last time somebody was speechless.
That's right. Speechless. You guys fight different aliases.
Oh, gosh. So, Joe, I have to tell you now, I want to say 81, maybe 82.
Before I was born.
No, Bill.
Is that my cue to say I said 19, not 18? and in 1981 or 1982, right out of high school, I went to college. Or I didn't go to college, I went to work.
Right.
And there's a guy that lives, ironically enough, Billy, down in Columbus. He was living in Columbus, and he was talking about this blues musician, man, Joe Zook and Blues Deluxe. These guys are great. They rock. They do this, they do that. So I was like, yeah, you got a bunch of us together from work to go see you at the Windsor Manor.
Where we just passed it. On the way
Literally, what, 500 feet down the road?
Steering wheel, I almost turned in.
Yeah, right.
It's like, whoa, stop it. It's an
It
empty
wasn't
lot
that-
now.
That vacant lot.
The
Yeah.
driveway's
Vacant
still
lot.
there. Vacant lot.
And that began what is today, for me, still a love affair with the blues.
Great.
I mean, now I grew up a leadhead, so it's not like I wasn't familiar with
You and me
blues
both,
rock, you know.
Right.
But to see what you did on stage, and then from there, of course, I went on to see Paul Plummery, and who's also been a guest of this program.
Yes.
And but you, so this is basically your fault, Joe. I'm just telling you.
How about that?
I blame everything on him. So.
I hear this a lot sometimes.
No,
A lot sometimes? Wait a minute. I hear this a lot.
Joe, you did it again.
There you go. So when did you start? I mean, you're an incredible. One of the greatest things I've also ever seen was at a Jam for Life when you and Paul and Ernie White and Papa Carl
Right. Carl.
got on stage
Uh-huh.
and
Yes.
just fed off each other. I was just like, wow.
I remember
You know,
that. I remember that. We were
Um,
doing one of Papa's Carl's songs
mhm.
about being in the ICU.
Yep.
I can't remember exactly the title of it though.
No, that's ICU Blues.
ICU Blue. See that? Wow. Yeah, ICU Blues.
But so when did you actually start to play the guitar? I mean, as a kid, as an
After
older
the
adult,
Beatles
or-
went on Ed Sullivan.
Okay,
I
I hear that a lot.
Right. And in June of that year, I started taking lessons from Frank Hipp, who was on Hamilton
Hamilton
Avenue.
Avenue. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Hip.
4 years I was with Frank. And then I went to Lou Mercury in Burlington
Okay.
for a year or two because I wanted to go to Trenton State and I needed to get my scales together and everything. Even though they didn't have a guitar major, I was able to switch over to bass.
Okay.
And Bill, and that, that's a real cultural shock going from guitar to string bass, as you know. And which is good because if later on they did have a guitar major, but it turned into it was a vocal thing
Okay.
rather than instrumental, and that wouldn't have been for me. The instrumental was better,
Okay.
So and then I ended up teaching in the Trenton Public Schools for 27 years.
Oh yeah, which one?
I was a junior 1 for 20 years
wow.
until they closed it. And then I was a junior 2 for a year, and then I went to Gregory Elementary for a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's over on the west side.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. No, Gregory School. I know. All right. So then now that's the foundation.
Right.
Okay. So why the blues?
I remember hearing it from Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix were playing. They're and the Blues Project too. They're the first 3 that I heard. I didn't know about B.B. King. I didn't know about Muddy Waters until I read in some articles that Clapton and Hendrix were mentioning Muddy Waters and B.B. King, and I went and got them. I just think the blues is like the coolest of all the music. You know, it's cool, and you do you sort of get to vent a little bit, and I always, I admired BB and all the guys that play the guitar like that. I wanted to try to emulate them. So I'd put on records. I'd put a stack of records on like that, and I'd play along with them. Then when they were done, I'd turn them over, and
Hit the
that's how
B-sides.
even though Frank showed me the original blues box on guitar, but all the other up and down the neck, I figured out on my own from playing along with records.
Yeah, the old school method. Who was it? Our buddy Jerry Monk was saying it here, how he wore a groove, and I can't remember what album he said it was. But, he wore a groove trying to figure out the lead in some Allman Brothers tune.
We go way back, Jerry. Yeah.
Yep. Jerry was at the happy hour on Thursday, Art. Yeah, Jerry was there. Jerry Monk came out to the Nottingham. I mean, I agree with you. As a drummer, I love playing the blues. It's just so easy to kind of just stay. You tend to lose yourself, but yet you're right there. Yeah, it's kind of it's
you're
like
out
a
on
total
a limb
oxymoron. Yeah,
you're improvising a lot. So
Yeah.
you're out on a limb. You just don't. You might know where you're going, but you really don't.
You go where it takes
You
you.
go where it takes you.
Compare it somewhere between rock and jazz. Somewhere in the middle, you got blues.
Right.
I have a buddy who's a jazz piano player, and I've been on countless recordings and still gigs up down the East Coast. He's 70 some years old. He's still playing like crazy. He says, I play jazz, Danny, because I can take it as far as my mind will let it.
Right.
As far as my mind will let me go, I'm there. You can, and it's just, it's great. Last summer I went, or not last summer, 2 years ago, over to the beer garden at Snipes.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I played solo there last summer.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, they had their blues, Bucks County had their blues fest or picnic there. Bucks
Yes,
County
they had
Blues
their
Society.
picnic there.
Past number of years.
The headliner was Kenny Neal.
Okay.
Right.
And I had backstage access, so I'm back there, and Kenny and I are just sitting down talking like you and I are right now. And he pulls out his guitar, and he's like a 1958 or 62 Stratocaster, but this thing looks like somebody took a knife and like gouged out the middle. And he's like, that's my favorite. I don't know, whoa, yeah, and he could make that sound unbelievable.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's all right here, and how that translates to here, or whatever, and how you do it. So, who was your favorite blues artist?
It was B.B. King.
Without doubt, hands
Without
down.
a
Look
doubt,
at
hands
that.
down.
Boom, he came up like
From the at the beginning, and as you go along, you pick up on Freddie King and Albert King,
Three Kings,
the Three Kings, and Muddy Waters and his slide playing. I really don't. At this point now, I don't really have one, but the original guy that I was taken, with was B.B. King.
Do you play slide?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen you play slide.
Yeah, I got some slide. I got some slide on the CD.
Okay, so you enjoy slide guitar then?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of guys, I mean, I'll do it, but I really don't. I'm not that good at it, or I don't like it, or I'm not this, or I'm not that.
Plays
I
on the
taught
Muddy
myself
Waters
how to play
tradition
slide.
with the slides.
You do? Do you do Manish Boy? Speaking of Muddy Water.
No,
Okay.
I don't do that one.
All right. So, all right, when you go, back in the day, so to speak, I was just talking with a fellow yesterday morning about this. You could go on any street corner in Trenton, and there was a bar. There was somewhere as a musician to perform.
We
Yes.
we
Now-
played them all.
Right? So that's what I said to him. I said, you're not going to believe this. I actually played the Treasure Chest.
Yeah, we did.
Which was
There
a
you go.
go-go joint,
Yes.
just like the Windsor Manor was,
Yeah.
And I can remember I was like a 19-year-old kid. I'm playing the Treasure Chest, and
That little stage on the left that you go in. And
Yep. and we would play on that stage, and then the girls would dance behind the bar while we were on break. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
That's funny. I brought an old copy I had found about a month ago of the Trentonian newspaper to work with me to show these young guys.
Like
because
Duffy's column?
Duffy's column was in there, and we were mentioned. As a matter of fact, this was 1978, I believe, was the date of the paper, and there were like 3, 4, 5 pages of ads.
Yeah.
With nothing but music,
Mm-hmm.
clubs,
And
I
they
mean,
were all
now
business
there's
card or
nothing.
those small, those like matchbook size
Yeah,
ads.
Some of them were full page ads.
Some of
Yep.
them are
You know,
big,
some
yeah.
you have the 6, 7, 8 ads to a page.
Depending on who wanted to spend the money.
Right. And back then it wasn't surely not as expensive as it is now, but there was just so much action going on, nightlife in
Oh yeah,
the Trenton area.
the night scene with
And
Duffy, man.
we were
Remember I used to
lucky.
write that?
Duffy, yeah.
You know what the irony is here, Billy, is that from April or June of 2010 to April of 2015, 14, I did that column.
Oh, did you?
I took
Did
that
you?
over because Trentonia was there. Scott Frost had been doing it, and he had for whatever
Yeah.
reason left the paper, and I had caught wind of it, so I messaged Edelstein. I
Right.
said, put me in touch with somebody, and he
Mhm.
did, and I sent in a draft, and next thing you know, I was hired.
Oh, how about
And
that?
but I said that, I said, well, I'm thinking, I'm going to at least get that centerfold, one side and one side, and he said, well, we want a lot of listings, so I did these, like the column I do now for New Jersey Stage, and I would send it to the Trentone, and they cut me down to half a page, including the listings.
Mhm.
Half a page, and I'm like,
Incredible.
yeah. They would cut the art. They would it would be a 6-paragraph article. They would cut it down to 2, and then everything else was listings. And I was like, wow, times have changed.
Yeah, yeah.
But I remember being, like I said, maybe 18, 19 years old. I'm playing the Manor Hotel
Right.
over on Whitehead Road,
Whitehead
right?
Road,
the old
yeah.
Manor.
Yeah.
And
That's all shut down now.
oh yeah, I know. And Chuck, you remember Crazy Chuck was the owner,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Well, Chuck sold the place, and the guy that came in refused to advertise in the paper. Well, how are we supposed to let anybody know we're playing here? Don't you ever talk to people? Call them. No.
This was before the internet and everything else.
Way before the
Yeah.
internet. Yeah, there was no cell phones. There were no. And
I'm not going to call everyone.
right. And he said, you know what it costs to put a business card size ad in the paper for a weekend now? $400. I'm not doing that. I'm thinking to myself, well, you ain't paying us crap. So what are you spending your money on? That's a whole other thing, right, Joe? Don't even get me started. Money, I've
Yeah.
made the same money. There's no cost of living increase for musicians.
Some places we used to pay to put our own ads in, actually,
Yeah.
once in a
We
while.
did that once in a while.
Yeah, but back then, if you're talking $60 for an ad or something, but
Yeah.
it's outrageous today.
It's ridiculous.
Everybody's doing it, like you say, on the internet now.
Plus, you don't have the clubs, like the concentration that you used to have in the Trenton area, and now everything's so spread out.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're not going to find anything in a local paper, any local paper.
Well, as I said, remember, you couldn't, every single corner bar had music. I mean, everywhere from
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
little joint like Millie's Place on Anderson
Right.
Street
Yeah.
to.
You didn't need a car; you could just walk the.
I literally
Yeah.
lived half a block from Millie's, so I could just put my stuff on a hand truck and
Did
walk
you?
it down.
You
if
played
I
there
had-
for 7 years.
Yeah, I know.
What's a great thing about Millie's is the way it was situated in Chambersburg was we played there at least a couple times a month,
At least once a month.
and Joe would get lost getting there every time. Never could figure out his way around Chambersburg.
Where'd you grow up, Joe?
Find my way home either.
Where did you grow up?
Ewing.
Okay. Oh, so you
Well,
part of the Ewing
yeah.
connection. Okay.
When I
But,
was in 3rd grade, we moved from Princeton Avenue to Parkway Avenue in Ewing.
Okay.
A little bit south of the Ewing High School I was.
Oh, okay.
I was within walking distance of Ewing High.
Nice.
But we were talking about alleys earlier.
Yeah.
At one time, I could tell you where every street in Trenton was because my father had a business in Trenton, so I used to deliver for him, and so I knew every
did?
crevice. Yeah. Yeah,
What'd your father own?
My
in Trenton?
father he was a florist, Martha Ray florist he had, and it was down on Pennington Avenue by
Okay.
like about a block from the Battle Monument area.
Mhm.
So yeah, I knew my way around.
By Hibbert's, or not Hibbert's, Hill Refrigeration, down that way.
Right down the street from
Yeah.
and right practically across the street from what used to be Warren Baldiston Company,
Okay.
and they relocated, I think, over to Princeton Avenue,
It's
somewhere.
so
in that
funny. We
neighborhood,
were
but,
talking before we went on the air about the stuff that came out of Trenton, New Jersey. You know, it started, of course, with pork roll, but you know, but even that Hill Refrigeration, you know, all the big refrigerating units you would see in restaurants, and you know, all came out of Hill.
I'll tell you, a lot of our fellow musicians who worked in at either Hill or Westinghouse.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Or the old Circle F plant over on Monmouth Street. My
Right.
uncle worked there.
Mhm.
So, well, this is what your, how many discs?
This is
Three?
the third.
Three. Okay.
I did one like a solo project with Steve Geiger and Jimmy Cheadle, and that would be 4.
Right.
That would make this 4. But for the Blues Deluxe, it's the third one.
Okay. Jimmy, Papa,
Papa
my
Cheeto.
man,
Cheeto.
Papa Cheeto.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I gotta go. I hope he's listening.
he's the best. I told him we were going to be on. I don't know. You think he's listening?
If he's up, yeah. He's,
Got to be up by now.
Man, Papa Cheeto. 609-241-7103
You know I love you, Jimmy.
if you want to call.
we just saw him about 12 hours ago.
Well, I know Laura. I know his daughter's in Florida. She's in
Yeah.
Jacksonville singing.
Yeah, she's
doing
doing
something.
Yeah, she's
Wow.
great.
I don't know if he's with her or not.
No,
No?
because he was at our gig last night.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he played with us last night.
He came out to the
That's why I s-
You plays
that's why I
at the
said we only
Nova.
saw him about 12 hours ago because we had the gig. He played on our gig last night at the Nottingham
The
Tavern.
Nottingham Tavern.
We had a little jam going at the end with Joe Grillo.
Joe actually said hello to you when on the Facebook
Oh,
Live. that I
did he? Hi,
Yeah,
Joe. How you
after I-
doing, man? Sounded great last night.
The Grillo man.
Yeah, we had some fun. And your
Yeah, it was
buddy
fun.
Mike,
Yeah, it's Michael Sloan from the
Oh, Mike got up and sang with you guys?
Kindred Spirit. Yeah.
Oh,
We're big fans of each other. I dropped in on them, and he comes around. Actually, they had
They had two gigs
yesterday.
Yeah.
So he came around toward the end of
And
the
they
night.
were tight. I don't know how he got
Yeah,
away
that-
with that. One was at what, 6, and the other one was at 8.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And weren't they at the Roost on Friday?
They got a great band.
I think they were at the Roost on Saturday, and they did Robbinsville Community Day from 6 to 6:45. Then they were supposed to start at 8 at the Roost.
Oh, wow.
There's
But
no
that
way
was
they
too-
went up. There's no way they started on time,
They're
I
not
didn't
too
say how they
far
could,
apart,
but-
though. That's just right up the road.
unless Robbinsville was backlined, and they didn't have to do anything.
right?
You know?
That's right.
And there's a guy now, Michael. I've known for years. My ex-wife and his wife used to work together.
Okay.
Years ago.
Fern.
Joey Ricky, I grew up with. We lived. His brother was a year younger than me, and Joe was a couple years older than me. But we grew up in the same neighborhood. You know, there's just the community as you get
We
older,
all jam
especially.
together all the time. Yeah.
Yep.
We all
And
sit in with each other.
that's it. Well, I'll tell you what, 609-241-7103. This is Rock On Radio. My guests this evening are Joe Zook and Billy Holt. Joe Zook and Blues Deluxe. And he has a new album out called Good Morning Blues. Why don't we play a cut off of this?
All right.
Off of this.
How about cut 4? How
What's this
about
thing?
Caledonia?
CD. Caledonia.
Yeah, pick it up a little bit.
Okay. Now, yeah, is that your little, is that a little tribute to BB with that one?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I would say BB and Louis Jordan.
Louis Jordan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you
And,
said BB was, I mean, I know BB's version.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that Mickey Baker played when Louis Jordan did all of his tunes in Mercury Records in the 60s. They got all the New York studio guys together, and they had Mickey Baker on guitar, and he did some of these little descending things. So I'm throwing that in there. So it's kind of a tribute to Mickey Baker too.
A lot of
Okay.
people
And
think
Billy sings it.
a lot of people think Louis Jordan wrote that song, but it was actually Don Nix that wrote the Caledonia.
Caledonia, no. Nix wrote.
I'm not
same. We're just
he
getting
wrote
it
Same
mixed
Old
up with
Blues.
Same old blues.
Same Old Blues, rather. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Louis wrote it, but
He was
his
a co-writer.
wife took it.
Yeah.
Fleecy Moore took the song,
Took
and
it.
she owns the right. Yeah, I don't even think she's alive anymore.
Yeah.
But we had to put
Just started.
Fleecy Moore on there.
Makes it
instead of-
public domain now, right?
Yes, public romaine.
Anyway, public road.
Eat your heart out. All right. Well, if you're just tuning in, this is Rock On Radio. Joe Zook and Billy Holt, and this is off their new CD called Good Morning Blues. And this is
Caledonia.
here,
Billy on the vocal.
Rock On Radio.
She's my baby. I love her just the same. Crazy about that woman, Caledonia is her name. Caledonia, Caledonia. What make you think it's so hard? Let her look at me. Crazy about that woman, Caledonia is her name. My mama told me the day was gonna come. Look at you, had my fun. Hey, what you doing talking about my mama? I'm going down to Caledonia's house right now. I want to talk about this stuff. Caledonia, Caledonia, what make you think it's so hard? La 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 la, baby. Crazy about that woman, Caledonia is the name. Leave on my face, got pretty feet. Long legs have nothing to eat, but she's my baby. I love her just the same. Crazy about that woman, Caledonia is the name. Caledonia.
Joe Zook, Blues Deluxe.
That's a barn burner, that one.
There you go, with Billy Holt here in studio and on vocals on Caledonia. That's on his new disc, which is a Good Morning or Good Morning. Good morning.
No G on the end.
No
right.
G's. There's no G in the blues.
No, never any G's at the end. Not a word.
That was funny. We did the instrumental in one take on that shit, on that song, and
Where'd you guys record it? Speaking of which.
Squirrel Ranch Studios.
Oh, Riox
Tom
joint?
Riox.
Tommy's place?
And then we went to Ernie White, and
Okay.
did the guitars and overdubs, vocals and
Very cool.
horns.
Oh, yeah.
We did, but basically we did the rhythm track over at Tommy's.
Yeah.
Me, Billy, and Jeff, and the keyboards.
And the keyboard. Who's playing keyboard?
Well, Cheadle's playing keyboards, and
On all of them?
on organ
Just a
we got John Sopko,
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
who's playing the organ.
I knew Papa Cheeto had his hands in there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Actually, I really enjoyed coming out that night to see you guys and stopping by and seeing Pop on keys.
Uh-huh.
You know, that was really great. Yeah, you guys are great with and without, you know, keyboards or just when you do your duos and solo. You know, it's,
Well, we did O'Connor's as a trio.
right.
And that was trio's a lot of work.
Why?
It just is.
Okay.
You know, you got
Well, especially
I'll
Ian,
accept
when
that.
you start, we started out as a trio, and then you start expanding with keyboard and sax, and next thing you have a whole horn section, and then you get used to doing that whole thing. So then when you get back to doing like when Joe's playing his leads and singing vocals, and he's got all that behind him, makes it a lot easier to concentrate on the vocals, or or even just lead. But as a trio, you're out there by yourself pretty much. And he's playing rhythm, lead, singing.
right,
So it is more work,
Well, yeah.
to try to fill everything out.
trying to fill it out. You know.
You know, it's funny how it's odd how certain musicians look at that, because some people love a trio for blues.
Mhm.
Other people don't like to add a second guitarist or
Yeah.
something else because they feel they're stepping over or
Right.
trying to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If you can remove ego from the situation, I don't see a problem where it shouldn't be.
I like it all the way around. I like doing the trio stuff and then doing, the expanded 7 or 8 piece band. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun either way.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And look at the Allman
You actually
Brothers.
get to,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Look at them.
yeah.
Yeah, they had how
The
many
two of
guitars
everything.
there? Yeah, and they had some of the greatest guitarists.
Yeah.
You know? So,
One of my favorite bands, by the way.
the Almonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually with the passing of Dr. John on on Friday,
Yeah. Mhm.
Thursday or Friday. Last time I saw the Allman Brothers was at the Beacon Theater several years back.
That's the last time I
and
saw them also.
Dr. John came out and they did like a 25-minute version of Right Place, Wrong Time.
Did they?
Yeah.
How about
He
that?
hobbled out on stage with a cane and then but sat down at those keyboards and was like, wow, a totally different person.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
That was a great stint when they used to do the Beacon for
13
12,
nights
13
in March. Yeah, every
Yeah.
March. Yep.
Kind of reminiscent of the old days when they used to do the Fillmore. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
For a run like that. How about you, Billy? How did you start your career? As a
basically the
musician?
same way Joe did. Watching the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. I think most of the guys are in our age bracket. Same thing. Yeah, that changed everything. Yeah, the first time you really saw guitars, bass, drums, singing, original tunes, all packed in the same package. Before that it was doo-wop and the Philadelphia street sound.
Yeah.
The a cappella groups, and they electrified everything, made it possible for maybe I can do this, pick up a guitar and play. And it was, I think it was a big step for everybody. That
Was it always the bass, or did you play guitar?
for me, it was
piano
a lot of
first?
guys start with guitar and go to bass. For me, it was always the bass,
Okay.
It's all about that bass.
It was like in the beginning, it was like mesmerizing watching like uh, how the Paul McCartney could sing and play those melodic bass lines, at the same time. It was, very difficult thing to do. So,
Did you?
and that's the way I learned was I started to get into pretty decent bands and good musicians, but nobody sang, and or I was the best one out of the rest of the guys, and I was terrible at concerts. So
You were the lesser evil.
the lesser of the evil. So it's like that's how it started happening that way. Out of necessity, really. I wasn't really looking to be a vocalist in the beginning, but as things progress,
So
Somebody had to do it.
somebody had to do the dirty work.
Right.
okay, so over the years, I know that. Well, actually, let me digress for 2 seconds here, because number one, I mentioned Dr. John passing away. Those of you who were like, who the heck is that? Must have been in the right place, but it had been the wrong time. And he also did the theme song to an 80s television or 90s television show called Blossom. He he had a string of other hits and wrote a lot of music for a lot of different people. So if you don't know who Dr. John is, look him up. In this world, it's much easier today to do that.
Great musician.
I also just happened to catch something. I have to extend my condolences to the friends and family of one of the finest gentlemen I've ever come to know, who passed away of cancer. A guitar player who he's been in here before, Art, a fellow by the name of David Good. Dave and I were in our band. He was in the Boss Radio AM Gold band with us for a short period of time. David always had a kind word, always had a smile on his face, even sick. He was sick. I didn't even know he was sick while he was playing with us. Always had a big, firm handshake and a hug for me when he would see me, and I used to rehearse at a studio over on East State Street, Trenton. It's called the Conservatory Mansion now, a fellow by the name of Ulysses. And Ulysses was in Midnight Sun Orchestra, I think, with him, and who did Matt?
Right.
Did you?
Yeah. Yes.
Giovanni.
Good.
Yeah, was in with David, all former guests of Rock on Radio, and I just want to say, that if he's joining the band up there, they got themselves a heck of a player and one of the finest gentlemen I've ever come to know in music. Because as you guys know, there are a lot of not so good people in this industry, and he was truly one of the good guys. So my condolences go out to the Good family and to David. Say a novena for me or something.
Sure, I'm
Claire,
on it.
Claire is also our religious advisor on the show that does not discuss religion.
Oh.
But
we can pray.
Novena and a candle, please.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's it.
In that order?
No.
Novena's long.
That's it. That'll be the name of my new band, Novena and the Candle. We'll always shine.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of which, what are your social media sites?
Oh, the website?
You.
Hello. Joe just
How
got
do we
here.
find Joe Zook?
We just we run a website, joezookblues.com. It gives you all the information you need and pictures and listening and ordering CDs and all that stuff. And we do a lot of stuff on Facebook too. Tony Buford, who designed this whole thing and played harp on it too. He also puts posts on Facebook for us.
Oh, cool.
He keeps it going.
So he takes your social media and the website and all that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
My
nice.
wife,
It's a nice one.
my wife Claire, by the way, she's another Claire. She's quite the videographer, and she puts not just our band, but we got to see a lot of other like Kindred Spirit and a lot of the local guys that we know, and She videotapes just about everything. She puts a lot of stuff on Facebook for people to see.
All right. And
All good stuff, you know.
is it Blues Deluxe on Facebook or Joe Zook? Blues Deluxe.
You know what? You got me.
Joe has his own
Really?
Facebook page, but there's nothing under Blues Deluxe right now.
There you go.
And there
Thank
you
you
go.
very much.
See,
Claire.
you have to go to the website.
I've searched.
Yeah, just go to the website.
Now let's get out there because I know you're concerned about that. Let's just get out there what you have coming up for gigs. And we're
Okay.
going to get to some more music.
Okay.
Right.
I'd love to have you play track 5. It's
All right.
it's a little blues that people might relate to. But I was looking at my calendar book here, this mess that's in front of me.
What is that?
His life.
Got a little duo.
Claire's getting a Rosetta Stone.
Got a little duo at Mama Rose's on the 24th with Paul Plumry.
Ah, there you go.
That's a little something we do about once a month. And we're going to be playing the 2:15 slot. And everybody's really happy about that at the
PM.
the Mercer County Park at the Lead Fest.
Okay.
And that's going to be fun. And Laura Cheadle is going to be opening up the show at
Is she?
at noon.
Nice.
Correct. With the Cheadle Family Band.
What
All
date's that?
And you can see Papa Cheetah. Will
That's
Papa
out there.
Cheetah be doing double duty?
Yes, he'll be doing double duty.
The 13th.
It's the 13th of July. Yes.
Okay.
And
That's at Mercer County Park, located on Old Trenton, Edinburgh.
Trenton Road.
right, Old
Drive.
Trent Road.
No
And
matter
what
how
is-
you want to.
What does LEAD stand for?
Law Enforcement Against Drugs.
Perfect.
And it's a big festival, rides and everything. And there are several other bands playing on the bill.
That's in Mercer
Dee
County.
Dee and the Dive Bombers, Paul's playing. Ernie White
Okay.
will be headlining.
Rock
And
and
then
roll, rock
after
and roll
that-
heaven, they're called.
Oh, his tribute thing, right?
Yeah, the tribute to Rock and Roll Heaven. And then back at Mama Rose's on the 26th for the duo.
Of this all June so far.
This is
right?
that was July.
Oh, okay.
August, I'm taking a vacation. I'll be in Point Pleasant. My wife and myself will be at Point Pleasant
Stop
for
and
a
say
week,
hi.
getting away from everything. And when I come back, we're going to play at the Nottingham Tavern, which is on the 16th of August. It's a Friday. We'll be back at the Knot.
Are these dates available on your website?
Yes,
They
Okay.
are.
they're all on the website.
All right. Good.
And then a date that probably isn't on there because we just got it on the 24th is the Cherry Valley Country Club
Ooh.
at Skillman. It's a fundraiser.
I know where
What date is that? What date is that?
Hold on a second. 24th of August.
Of August. There you go. If you're just tuning in, this is Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman. This is Joe Zook, and that is Billy Holt. And we're going to play track 5 right now
Sounds
off of
good.
Joe's new disc, Good Morning Blues. And this
It's
one
called
is called Where Did It Go? There you go.
One of my favorites.
Joe Zook and Blues Deluxe.
I woke up this morning. These old bones don't want to move. I woke up early this morning, and these old bones don't want to move. I'm so glad I got you to keep me
in the groove. Where did it go? I think it's moving way too fast. Where did it go? I think it's moving way too fast. Seems like everything good happened way back in the distant past. The 70s and 80s was one big blast. Along came the 90s when I saw the light at last. Then Y2K come with a brand new day. And before you know it, 2020's up and on its way. Where did it go? I think it's moving way too fast. Got to slow it down, and make a good time last.
Joe Zook and the Blues Deluxe. That's off of Good Morning Blues. That's track number 5. It's called Where Did It Go? Now, it's really too funny. It's like a tale of two blues, I'm going to say. Because one, when you sit down and try and write original blues music, I mean, you have your basic 4 chords, your 12 bars, whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
And it's got to be the toughest version or toughest genre of music to write and have it not sound like everything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter who the blues artist is, right? But then on the other hand, when you play live, it may sound like what other people do, but then what you as individual musicians do on stage is what really gives it its life and its spirit.
Right.
Which can be most times totally different than what you do on the record anyway.
Yeah, sometimes, yep.
So how does Joe Zook write what's that? You hear that? What is that?
I thought someone was opening Velcro, but
Oh, I'm
Oh, it's Joe Zook.
I was right.
absent-mindedly playing with my
Put us on
phone.
our
What the heck
toes.
is that? Who's taking their clothes off?
Joe's girdle.
If you want a really good laugh, take a look at the phone.
Whoa, a flip.
Yeah, I'm absent-mindedly playing with my
With your Velcro?
I knew
Velcro.
I go, what the heck is that?
trying to figure out how I'm going to answer
Bending
your
over and your
question,
pants are ripping.
because I don't know. I really don't know how it's done.
Okay.
I don't know. It just comes to you.
Is that how you write your material? Just
Yeah,
stuff?
usually the words and the lyrics, the words and the music at the same time.
Okay.
And you're always going to be going on some sort of format if you're going to write a blues. It's going to be, like that one. There's a 12 bar and it has a little something in the middle, a little something different, a bridge. And I really can't answer why it's different from other stuff. I really don't know. It's just like it's like an inspirational thing. It comes to you.
Well, it's you look. You mentioned earlier the Three Kings.
Yeah.
Is it Freddie or Albert? Which one does Chew on the Other Foot? I think
That's
it's
Freddie.
I think it's Freddie, right? Now there's a man that had a style
Yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
if you listen to that, I mean, I used to love playing that tune.
Yeah.
Because it had a heavy drum thing and it was just like perfect. It didn't, and it was blues, but it wasn't blues. You know what I mean?
Freddie had like a funky period.
Yeah, it was a different style.
Yeah.
It kind of bothers me when they, lump blues and funk and jazz into the same categories, although they are very similar based on the way you perform them or the way they're written.
Mhm.
They're really three totally different.
Yeah.
I kind of admit I was a little thrown for a loop when I saw, such and such will be at the Jazz and Blues Festival.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Right.
I'm like, there's a bunch of people, bunch of beatniks, and then there's going to be a bunch of bikers. It's like, but
It's like Jimi Hendrix opening up for the Monkees, which I played.
yeah, right, yeah. Go figure, right?
But, one thing about Joe's songwriting, he's a great songwriter, and I like to arrange myself. He comes up with these great tunes, and like that last one we just played, we do that one part in the middle in the 70s, turning into the 80s. That was my suggestion, and he comes up with these great songs. Sometimes they're just 3-chord blues, and I said, well, I automatically think, let's do something different with it. Instead of 3 chords.
See, you think like me.
Yeah, let's make this our own. Yeah.
And the thing that I love about playing as a musician about playing the blues. I remember we were doing a gig and it was just at Pete's Steakhouse, small, gig, and the place was pretty crowded. And we were doing I can't remember what tune it was, but whatever it was, the beauty of the blues is that dynamics. I think dynamics rules everything.
Yeah.
How many times, and you've seen it. I've seen you do it, Joe, where I've seen all you got, you, Billy, I've seen your band do it, where, you go from 1,000 miles an hour screaming down to nothing.
Yeah.
And it's all accomplished with a hi-hat choke,
Right. Right.
And it's just, now you're down here,
Right.
And I actually, at our gig, when we did that, I heard people go, they would gasp, and it's like, yeah, we got them. And that's one of those genres. The blues is really the only genre where you can get away with that.
You got the whole room,
One of my favorite blues tunes is "The Sky Is Crying."
Yeah,
Okay.
Albert.
Now,
is known for that. I don't know who wrote it though.
Well, I've heard him do it. I've heard Stevie Ray Vaughan do it.
Yeah.
I've seen and heard the Allman Brothers do it.
Mhm.
But do you know who my favorite version of it's by? Believe it or not, George Thorogood.
Really?
I didn't even know he did it.
Because he does that, like he's doing this whole slide and high octane lead in the middle, and then all of a sudden it comes down with a hi-hat choke, and then it's just real soft.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, he's got you going, and all it's like, whoa, what happened there? And you can do that with the blues. And you really can't
The dynamics is such an important part
of any music.
any music,
you
but
know,
especially blues.
right. So is that how you do it, Joe? When you write your music, you present it. Hey, I got this idea. What can you guys do to help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, the rest of the time, you just tell them this way it is. Deal with it. I'm Joe Zook.
Yeah, I guess. Yep,
He tells that to the fan.
that too.
So how long now? I know Blues Deluxe has had multiple personnel changes over the years.
Yeah, we have.
Uh, are these all the players that come and go? And people leave bands for various reasons, or they're
Right.
asked to leave for various reasons. How did you put the band together when you first started it all those years ago?
There was a New Year's Eve at Billy D's Rum Runner when he first got the bar. He wanted to get a band together. So I think I had just a couple of guys and threw something together, and that was like the first. That's how it started.
For a New Year's Eve gig.
For a New Year's Eve gig, right.
And he probably
But-
paid you like $400, and that was more than the 150 you had been getting.
Right. Now Billy always was very fair with all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Billy D.
Yeah, miss him.
Yeah. Oh,
It was a one of a kind. Let's leave it at that, right?
a rum runner, or better known as the scum runner. Better known there's all kinds of names for that bar, but all those little dive bars, as we said earlier, they had just great.
Kind of reminded you of the Knot a little bit, the Nottingham Tavern.
Yeah.
Small in size, but people used to come from all over to that.
Right before he got out of the bar business or whatever it was, before it changed hands, Billy didn't own it anymore. I played there, and I'll never forget. I was playing, and I looked over. I'm looking, and I'm like, there was a roach about this big crawling on the floor, and I'm like, oh man,
Big Mama Roach.
He lived in room 3.
I think he asked me, he wanted me to valet his car. Yo, pick it up, dude.
We used to move our equipment around.
Oh gosh, but yeah, and some of them bars are just. Well, I mean, did you have a favorite story from one of the joints that you played in the Trenton area or anywhere actually?
One time, we were at Billy D's and somebody stole my wife's pocketbook. Billy chased this person down over rooftops in Trenton.
It was about a 5-block run. Yeah,
and it turned out to be a girl, right?
turned out to be a girl.
He was getting ready to pulverize.
Hooded sweatshirt and everything, and I'm chasing down the street and down an alley. Then in the back of these row houses, you got the low roofs. Then it was up on the roof, across rooftops, and I finally caught up and I'm just ready to put my hand on the back, and it was like I heard. She dropped the pocketbook and kept running, and it was like I got the pocketbook back then.
That's
Everything
right.
was in it.
Billy brought the pocketbook back to Billy D's.
Then she called the cops on you.
Yeah, that would have been a good wrap to that story. But,
Oh gosh.
You
Wow.
believe that? It's
just
true.
just
Everywhere-
another night at Billy D's.
Well, that's the way it was back in the 70s.
So
and
we
the
were
80s.
just happened to be on break at the time, and Donna, his wife Donna, my pocketbook. The girl just took my pocketbook. It was like, oh, I'm on break. I don't have anything to do. Let's go for a run.
bass player, crime fighter, Billy Holt.
Superhero.
That's it. Meanwhile, back at the Rum Runner, Joe Zook, the Blues Deluxe, are fighting crime, one pocketbook at a time.
There were times where we would spend 2 or 3 days at the Rum Runner.
Oh, yeah. Well, that, and again, I was just telling somebody that story the other day. So I used to play the Manor Hotel, and I would set up the first Friday of the month and not have to take my drum
Right.
kit home until the last Saturday
Right,
because they would book you for a month at a clip.
right. 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, for a month or whatever.
Yep.
At one point, we were doing Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at Billy's. And then I think he wanted to add a Monday.
Yeah, well, it started with a Friday and Saturday,
Right.
and then that did so well every single week. I said, well, let's try a Wednesday. So, and then next thing, it was Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. It was packed every single night. We couldn't believe it either. But they said, well, let's try Stormy Monday. Okay, we'll do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and that went on for a couple of years. I think till until it started slacking off.
And a testament to your popularity over the years is that you were able to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and people would still come out to see it.
Yeah. And it was, we look back at it and regret, well, that was the good old days. We didn't have to move any equipment.
Right.
You come in once a month and dust everything off. And
Yeah, I would take every night, Friday and Saturday, whatever. I would just take my cymbals and sticks on. That's it.
So when we used to play at Billy's and sometimes at the Camelot Lounge, we had this wire, this real long wire that we used to put through all the equipment so nobody would steal it.
Like a bike lock.
Yes.
it was like a super long bike lock.
Super long bike lock. And we put it in all the stuff, and there it would be, covered with a sheet or something.
Right.
Through the amps, through the drums, through the, all the
handles
PA
of the amps.
PA amplifier handles, and finally they hooked together and we put a padlock on it.
And nobody ever stole anything.
No, it worked.
It
It was more of a visual, really.
Golden days of Trenton music.
High-tech days of security.
Right? Let's do another tune off the CD, and then when that's done, we'll start taking callers. If anybody wants a copy of Joe Zook and Blues Deluxe, Good Morning Blues, they can do so by calling 609-241-7103. Anybody wants to comment, anything? I'll even give you, we'll throw in some Rock on Radio Lube. We'll throw in some Rock on Radio Tchotchkes. We'll throw in
The Jack Furlong.
CD. There you go. I'm out of those. I had none to give away.
I have the case here.
Well, Jody Weber's listening,
And she
said,
is.
Great discussion on learning and writing music and how they all do it.
What do we want to play, Joe?
Let's play.
Thank you, Jody.
Let's play Same Old Blues, number
Same
9.
Old Blues. Terry Elliott is listening for the first time in a while.
Speaking of Freddie King.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Freddie was well known for doing the song "Same Old Blues." He's the version that we took
Okay.
from.
It was funny when we first started doing this song. It was one of the reasons was because I don't think I've heard anybody do this except for Freddie King.
Yeah.
And then just today on the way over to Joe's house, I turned on Bluesville, and Peter Franklin's got a new version of it.
He's on a blues tour right now. One of the last things he's doing before he's taking time off for health reasons.
I would have never pictured him as a blues player.
But
Well, you figure he was in Humble Pie, so
yeah, they all have blues roots.
yeah. One of the funniest things I ever, and I mean ha funny this time. I was listening to Bluesville, and Tom Petty, while he was still alive, said something to B.B. King. He said if he was filling in for B.B. or something, and he said, "Do you hear that lick I played there, B.B.? I borrowed that from you." And B.B. King looked at us and said, "Borrowed it? Shoot, son, you stole it. We all steal from everybody."
Joe Bonamassa said the same thing.
Yeah, right.
It may sound like me, but that's only because it's a combination of everyone I ever listened to.
One of the things I used to like to do, or I do at work, is I have Pandora and I'll put Bluesville or one of the other blues stations on it. You can hear everything from that old Mississippi Delta stuff, which, is the recordings are still scratchy that they're playing, right up to today's stuff. And when we come back from this tune, I want to talk to you, Joe, about lyrics, because you got a lyric. It might even be in this tune. I'm not sure. It's something about that. I used to be undecided, but now I just don't know.
Oh, it used to be undecided. That was written on the wall of the men's room in Billy D's Rum Run.
There you go.
I used to be undecided, but now I'm not so sure.
Now I'm not so sure. Yeah. All right. This is what are we doing here?
We're gonna do Same Old Blues, number 9.
All right. This is track number 9 off of Good Morning Blues, Joe Zook and Blues Deluxe, and it is the Same Old Blues.
far from mine. Yeah, now I sit in my room, staring out at the moon. But if he stays just the same old blues. I can't help blood, I can't help but thinking. Yeah, when the sun used to shine at my back door. Yeah, now the sun is turning rain. My laughter is kind of pain. Lord, it's the rain, just the same old blues. Sunshine, sunshine, it's all you see. Yeah, but it all, Lord, it looks like nothing. Yeah, now I sit in my room, staring out at the gloom. But it's these days, just the same old blues. Yeah, it's the rain, just the same old blues. Yeah, it's the rain, it's the same old
Joe Zook and Blues Deluxe right here on Rock On Radio 609-241-7103. If you want to give us a call, first caller gets a copy of Joe's new album, Good Morning Blues. And we'll throw in some Rock On Radio tchotchkes and the infamous lube and a Jack Furlong CD. We'll throw in everything. We'll do
Kitchen sink.
When you put that on your sled to make it go faster?
the Jack Furlong
lube?
CD, the lube.
Yeah.
It is dial hand lotion. Well, we turned it into lube. Gets everybody's attention. We broadcasted a show from a few years back, we did a live broadcast from Randy's man cave,
Man cave, yeah.
in Bordentown, and at the end of the night, I said everybody can, anybody that shows up, we can get a free thing of Rock on Radio Lube. So at the end of the night, I'm at the door and I'm handing out the thing, and this girl walks by and she takes it and she goes, "Oh, it's hand lotion." She walked out. She was all disappointed.
I'm on a mission.
Hey, okay then. Good luck. But yeah. So, so what's going on, Art? You're awful quiet over there tonight.
He didn't name quiet.
I don't know.
Just taking it all in.
Just thinking about his taxes.
Claire's busy as can be. If you go to the Facebook event at Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio 2 on Facebook, Claire is posting away over there. Thank you, Claire. We have, thank you, Jody, as for that, as what you said earlier. I'm glad you like it. 609-241-7103. If you have any questions or comments you would like to make to anyone in this room at this moment, Joe, Billy, myself, Claire, Art, we'll all answer your questions.
At the same time.
Yes. Yes. It'll be and that'll be Joe's next album. Cacophony.
Complete mayhem.
Mayhem Cacophony.
There you go.
So we were talking, I said we're going to discuss lyrics.
Yeah.
Blues lyrics are, I mean, how these guys think of these things sometimes, it's just really kind of funny. I remember the first time I ever heard, somebody left the gates of heaven open because I just saw an angel walk by. It's like, where'd that come from?
It's like a pickup line.
Yeah, right. As opposed to, what's my favorite pickup line, Art?
Security.
Yeah, no, that's
Take him away.
Does this smell like ether? But it works. Until they wake up. Then we have an issue. That's when you hear security.
Security. Check, please.
Bail, please.
That's what you said.
Yeah, probably.
What?
Oh my God, you were there. You recruited her.
I'm always lurking.
So how do you? I mean, do you have a favorite blues lyric or anything that comes to mind? Either of you guys that, or a typical or a particular blues tune that you really just love playing besides your own music?
Right. Give me a second.
Uh-oh. This is Final Jeopardy.
Please answer in the form of a question.
What is Joe Zook and Bruce Willis?
Woo, that was loud.
Alex, for 2000.
That was Joe's phone.
We have stumped Joe. Left him speechless again, Billy.
Yeah.
I like Nightlife, B.B. King's Nightlife.
Yeah.
Although it's actually a really Willie Nelson song,
Okay.
but I just love the lyrics of that. It's a great song.
Yeah, it is. It's terrific. You're right.
The Nightlife. It ain't no good life, but it's my life.
Yeah. I like to play a song that Albert King did. I don't know who wrote it, but it's called Murder. And I enjoy singing the lyrics.
Sounds like the blues.
Yeah, it's
called Murder.
Yeah,
Wow.
you got to say it's murder.
Security.
Like 3 times in the song.
Need a ride?
It's perfect.
Wow. I didn't know you had this aggressive side, Joe. You're always so laid back, man.
But when he's playing that song, he's like staring you down at the same time.
Over the years, and we've touched on it several times over the years, some of the bars you play in this area, you encounter all sorts of different characters.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And you've been doing it a long time. Do your fans, and yes, you have fans, do they approach you and tell you, you can only so many times, Joe, I want to play this, Joe, I want to play it, Joe, I want to hear this, Joe, I want to hear that.
Yeah, nobody asks for any songs anymore. Did anybody really ask you to? Maybe once in a blue moon.
You got your your regulars that always want to hear the same song. But I know with me, Kidney Stew is a big one. People want to hear Kidney Stew. Yeah, that's Eddie Clean had Vitch in the tune. There's what else? Let me see.
Well, one night Joe and Paul were doing a duo at the Nottingham Tavern. So on my way home from my buddy's house, I stopped in. So Joe says to me, "Is there anything you want to hear?" I said, "Yeah, why don't you play Statesboro Blues?" I figured it was just the 2 guitars. They'll do it. He's like, "Oh, I don't know that one." 10 minutes later, he's playing Statesboro Blues. I'm like, he's just screwing with me, runs you, Joe.
At the end of the night, we had the big jam on that. That was a request, I believe, from somebody.
Me.
Oh, it was from you?
Yeah.
No, I thought somebody in the audience. Did that.
No, it was me.
That's when we had Joe Grillo and Mike Shalom. Everybody came up
Yeah.
And did it.
did
Yeah.
Statesboro.
I
Nice.
suggested Statesboro.
Now, one of the things I remember about you, you had, for reasons we can or cannot go into, it doesn't matter to me. But you had kind of taken a step back for a while, for a period of time. I think you had health issues or something, right? You weren't feeling well.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
right. So you had taken them back. But then one night I happened to be like Dr. John in the right place at the right time. And it was at Cedar Garden Pub. And
Yeah.
you weren't even standing, you were sitting and playing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember that.
And that was one of the first times you.
Yes, it was the very first time that I went out.
That
to
was
play.
the first time that you
Yeah.
went out to play in quite a while.
Right. With,
And-
the Trent Makes guys.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. And I was just, I was like, wow. I was blown away.
No, that's cool.
I said, because you know, I did a meet and greet several years back with a listener of this program.
Mhm.
And we got to hang out with a fellow by the name of Paul Nelson. And because he was the road manager and guitar player for Johnny Winter.
Oh.
So I did the meet and greet with Johnny Winter. And he died like 6 months later. And, we were hanging out with Johnny and when it was all said, we were in his trailer for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, and we'd go in. And the opening act at that night at the New Hope Winery was Paul Plummerai. So them guy, his whole band, Blues in Disguise or whatever it was.
Right. I remember that
Right.
show.
And Johnny was a little late getting on stage, like 10 or 15. He was not a little late. He was quite a bit late.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking he was just awake when I left him. What the heck's
He's
going
in the
on?
trailer with that little bowl with all that kind of stuff in it.
Yeah, right. Probably. But I remember Paul had to lead him on to the stage, and they sat him in a chair
Yeah.
and literally had to put the guitar in his hands and then put the strap on him.
Mhm.
But yet, when he started to play, it's like he was a 20-year-old kid. The
Yeah.
dexterity in his fingers and so on and so forth. And I remember now, that's the first time I had seen you in quite a long time,
Mhm.
was that night. And I remember just watching you, and it's like it was effortless the way your fingers just flowed
Oh, that's
over
nice
the
of you to say.
fretboard. And I was like, God, he hasn't lost a step. And I thought Zook's back, and that's great. And you and I really didn't even know each other then.
At that time, no.
And I don't want to say I'm floored because I know you're incredibly talented, but I was quite I don't even know what's the word. Help me, producer Claire. What's the word I'm looking for?
Blown away.
I said that already. I can't think of the proper adjectives. I need a thesaurus. I can't. No, because it was just, I was like, yeah, and that's cool.
That's nice of you. I appreciate
You
that.
know. And it's great. One of the things I think we have as an issue in this world today is that just look at our area. Okay, you have the same dozen bands or whatever vying to play in the same 6 bars,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
There's only a half a dozen bars around here having live music big enough to fit full bands
Right.
right? So, and they're all cover bands for the most part.
For the most part,
Uh,
I'm not that familiar with the scene now to be able to make that determination. But you're probably right.
well, the only bands doing original music, Charles Larita and the Mischief, Honey Spot Boulevard. Ernie throws some in here and there.
Yes.
Paul throws some in here and there, but they're all playing mostly cover tunes, really.
Yeah.
Except for like Mill Hill and Champs, which are punk and metal clubs.
Right. Right.
Right.
That's all original. That's great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of on the circuit now. You're getting a lot of these tribute bands, and I've seen a few of them myself. One does a Steely Dan. We just went to see Tusk at the New Hope Winery.
New Hope Winery, yeah.
And they're all great, and it's amazing how each one of these things you go to, they pack them in. There's like 200 or 300 people there. I was like, geez, I saw all these bands, Fleetwood Mac and Silly Dan for like $12.
Right.
And people are paying $40, $50, $60 to go see these
Tribute bands that aren't even them.
And I was like, geez, and I was like,
well, that's because the real Fleetwood Mac's at the Wells Fargo Center in Philly, and
and
them tickets are only
some of them
$200.
right.
The band at the Spectrum, $5.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
right.
it's really amazing.
Oh, you're really old.
I saw the Beatles for $5.50. At Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
But it's really amazing to have people or gravitate toward that instead of new original music. The local talent.
Well, and the climate is such that the bars don't. Okay, you go to Asbury Park and the bars will support it. You go to anywhere from the northern Jersey Shore communities, probably from like Seaside on up, and they're going to support. There's a couple in the southern area, like the Tin Lizzy Music Room.
Yeah, I had that rare bar owner,
or
like
Lizzie
a
Rose
Billy
Music
D,
Room,
who was really into the music,
right?
Really took care of his bands. And then you got the guys that, like I just said, with these tribute bands, that they just want to pack them in to make the money.
That's it.
And
as long as the register's ringing,
yeah, they're not really the music itself takes a back seat.
Right.
But it's a shame.
But you see the musicians in our area right here in the Trenton scene, the ones that are making the music are all older musicians.
Yeah.
They're all 40, 50, 60-year-old musicians.
Yeah, that's true.
And you think, all right.
But you see light at the end of the tunnel, like you got like Joe gives lessons and Ernie White,
right?
Guys like Charles Larita coming up, and all these young guys. They're the new guys coming up that hopefully will keep that going.
Right.
But originality, keep the music scene going. But I think everything goes in cycles. Blues is the same way.
Yeah.
Over the years we've had the blues gets popular and for a couple of years, and we have gigs all over the place.
Every few years, a Stevie Ray Vaughan comes along,
right, to revive the genre.
I was talking to the Hamilton West high school marching guy. You know what I mean? The music teacher.
Directing Waltz?
Yeah. And
I did my student teaching with them.
And he was
retired.
Like now the kids have a choice. Like they can't be in band and play football or basketball. They have to choose whether it's going to be sports or music. You know what I mean? And a lot of them are just not choosing music, which is why you're not seeing the up and coming Charles Laritas.
Yeah, sports is kind of like the new kind of rock and roll thing. Back in the day, a lot of guys would want to be rock and roll stars and get rich and famous, and that's what kids were doing with sports now.
But Charles Larita went he was in high school with my daughter, and they were both in marching band. And we had kids that were in marching band that ran off the field and grabbed their socks. You know what I mean? And marched in their uniform. And today they can't. They can't do that. I just think that's sad because they lose out on a lot of opportunity.
I wonder why that is.
It's
all about money, man.
Yes.
Yeah. When I was in high school, I played freshman soccer, but I was also in the marching band and then concert band, and the Rector Walds were my.
Carl and Tom.
Yep. They were my what do you call it? my band directors
Mhm.
over at Hamilton High School West.
Wait, with the elephants? No. Oh, that's a difference. What was the other
Did
noise?
you play a brass instrument?
No,
No?
I did not.
Okay.
You were.
That's about as close as you're gonna
You were
get.
getting that buzz, you
I
know?
had the buzz on the lips. See?
I thought right away.
It's a wannabe.
A trumpet player, it's trombone.
No, I was a drummer.
I actually
Right.
played trumpet for about 10 minutes by myself.
How was it?
That was a disaster. And I had little did I, at the time I had the greatest teacher in the area. His name was John Ivorone, and I saw in the paper that he had passed away a few months ago.
Okay.
I guess he must have been probably 80 something by then. But this is back in the 60s, and my old man, he was always wheeling and dealing, and he came home with a trumpet one day. They sent me down to Kretschmer's on Front Street for lessons with the great John Ivorone. And, he'd have the window open up in the second floor. You could hear him playing all over town. But he was a fabulous teacher, but I was probably his worst student.
Didn't work.
Called my father up and come pick this kid up. He's not learning anything. So that's
I want to play bass.
it was interested in the government. How many with the strings?
Yeah, right.
Let's do some more music, Joe. What should we play?
Do you want to play the cut number 6? It ain't what you do.
It ain't what you do.
That's got that line in it.
That's
Oh
got
no!
the
Wait
line.
a minute.
You sure?
No, it doesn't. No.
As it was a different one.
Take me back.
That's going. Got nothing to say. Has that line in it.
Okay. So
That's
you-
from when I wasn't feeling well and I wasn't talking to anybody.
Nice.
You're from him
I
for a
came
week.
out of that, but I was in the shell for a while, and I didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah, you were a
I-
recluse.
I couldn't play the guitar. I couldn't play 3 notes in a row. That made music. I was shocked that I couldn't do that, but eventually I did. It just came to me, you know.
And I was there to witness it.
Yep.
What do we
Which
wanna
was
play?
like, wow, I don't know. What are we playing?
Track 6?
5 or 6? Which one?
6.
6?
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
let's do track 6.
All right, track 6.
It
Track
ain't what you
6.
do.
It ain't what you do. If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio. My guest this evening is Trenton blues legend Joe Zook, and he has Billy Holt with him, his bass player. And if you want a copy of his new CD, Good Morning Blues, just give us a call at 609-241-7103, and we will gladly ship one out to you along with some Rock on Radio tchotchkes and so on and so forth. What? Were you flagging me down? What was that?
No.
There? Hand motions? Like,
Yeah.
call me. Tell somebody to call.
We'll take the load, please.
Yeah, we'll take. I got some of that. There's always a plethora of Rock on Radio tchotchkes and lube around. Don't leave home without it. Carl Malden. All right, you got it. You got it, Art. All
Yeah,
right.
this one's got a little slide on it.
Ooh,
Little slide guitar.
slide on by, y'all. Okay. Joe Zook and Blues to Luck and his song called
It ain't what you do.
here on Rock on Radio.
When you meet somebody, give up the respect. A handshake or a hug, that's what they expect. It ain't what you do. It ain't what you do. Well, it ain't what you do. It's who you do it to. Standing on the corner, some gangland thug. Part of this problem is he ain't never had a hug. It ain't what you do. It ain't what you do. Well, it ain't what you do. It's who you're doing it to. When it comes to your woman, man, don't raise your hand. Kind and gentle, now that's a man. It ain't what you do. It ain't what you do. Well, it ain't what you do. It's who you do it to. It ain't what you do. Ain't what you do. It ain't what you do. Ain't what you do. It ain't what you do. Ain't what you do. It ain't what you do. Ain't what you do. Well, it ain't what you do. It's who you do it to. Well, it ain't what you doing. It's who you're doing it to. Well, it ain't what you do. It's who you do it to.
Joe Zook, Blues Deluxe, right here on Rock On Radio, 609-241-7103. You got about 20 minutes or so left. 25, maybe 23. I don't know. I can't see. Call. Somebody just call. And we'll give you a copy of the CD. Again, Joe, what do you have coming up the rest of June for gigs?
The rest of June. Let me look at the magic book here.
The Magic Book.
Just the we're playing at Rob Forsina's 60th birthday party.
Ah, a lot of
Yeah,
people I
on the
know turned
29th.
60 this year.
Huh?
A lot of people I know turned 60.
Oh yeah.
I went to
yeah.
two 60th birthday parties myself yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Past that milestone.
The younger friends of yours?
Wow.
I've got and I've got that duo with Paul on the 22nd at Mama Rosa's.
on Clockner Road.
It's terrific food. Yeah.
Do you play that outside?
Yeah, on the patio.
I live like 10 seconds from there.
Oh, do you? So you get to hear all the.
Yeah.
Yeah. For free, you get to hear it too.
I might be coming up there.
Look at
But
you.
that's it for June.
That's it.
That's it for June.
That's it
yeah.
for June. All right. That's all we need to know. See? How about July?
Well, we have the Lead
Mercer
Fest
County.
on July 13th. And
That's it. Mercer County Park.
Ooh.
Mercer County Park.
Joe, we got a caller.
It's
Joe's
John
wife.
listening.
Hello, welcome to Rock On Radio. Who's this? Hello. Hello, welcome to Rock On Radio.
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys? I'm enjoying listening to the show.
Oh, fantastic. Who is this?
My name's Kim. I've been listening to this band for many years.
There you go. Well, good
nice.
for you, Kim.
How you doing, Kim?
Kim, you're the winner.
I'm good. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
You know me when you see me, honey.
Well, you're the winner of the CD, Kim.
We got the CD.
All right.
And we'll send you some Rock On Radio stuff too as well.
That sounds wonderful. I have enjoyed the show. I cannot tell you how much.
No, well, that's good to hear. We like that. So, what is your?
Thank you, Kim.
Do you have a favorite Joe Zook tune that you like to play or like to listen to?
Oh
Not
my
like.
God. You know,
She's in the band.
I love them all. I love them all. And I'm a little caught off guard because I can't even think. I love the ones you've played. Some of them are my favorite. No, they can pick anything. I like them all.
Oh, okay. When is the first time do you recall seeing Joe Zook?
Oh my gosh. I guess it was back in the mid-70s.
Okay, well, I was in the early 80s. See? Joe's collapsing. I don't know if you're watching the YouTube feed. We might need them. Claire, you just took a.
I do.
You
I
just
can
took a
teach
CPR
CPR.
class.
I'm on board. Don't worry. Where's the AED?
Gosh.
A big one.
Wow. You want to? Well, I'll get Kim. Kim is going to follow
Yeah,
directions.
they can.
You're going to
I'll
follow
give you that,
directions perfectly for us, right, Kim? When I give you these directions.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Kim, what you need to do is go to dcror.com.
Okay.
That is my website, and on there you will see the ability to email me.
Okay.
Okay. It is a encrypted and entrusted and encrusted website. So therefore, you can,
It's crusty.
it'll only be between you and I, Kim. So send me your address, and
Okay.
I will send you your prize.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds
Okay.
fair. And thank you. Thank
And-
you for the opportunity to tell you how much I love these guys.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
That's it. All right. Well, I got
Keep
some.
on going. Keep on doing the blues, dude.
Okay, Kim. Thanks a lot. It was great
Thank
seeing you
you.
last night, by the way.
Okie dokie. You guys have a great time.
Now, Kim, before you go, I have
Yeah.
I have something I have to say to you.
Okay.
Number one, thank you first and foremost for tuning in and listening to Rock On Radio with Joe Zook and Billy Holt tonight. I greatly appreciate that.
Okay.
and
My
no-
pleasure.
And number two, Kim, and this is the big one. You ready?
Yeah.
Rock on, Kim. Rock on. And the next time you see me at the Nottingham Tavern, come over and say hello.
I sure will.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
There you go. Take care. Rock on.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. There you go. We got a lucky winner. Kim. Kim's like you. She's
Yeah.
like Sting and Cher.
Yeah.
Claire.
Winning.
Maria said, "Hey, Dad and Uncle Winky.
Oh, that's my daughter.
We are listening to you, and you're doing great.
There's a story.
Billy,
we can
do I
think
wanna
of
know?
Way, way back.
Oh, there's a story there.
Love Maria, Tom, and Madison.
All right. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Doing great."
That's it. Thank you very much.
Hi, Nikki. She's Nikki. She's a little Nikki to me.
That's right.
Remember we were
That's-
talking about before we went on the air
One
about
of those
some
off-the-air
radio show
stories.
hosts? Yeah. Might pursue that. I'm not going to go there. Billy, I'm going to save you.
We'll discuss that one over a beer sometime.
There you go. Fantastic. I like that you said the magic words.
Beer.
609-241-7103. I don't have another CD to give you, but I'll give you something anyway, just for calling in.
Mhm.
You know, maybe a half-eaten tuna fish sandwich. It might be something, but I'll send you something along the way to remind you to never tune in or tune in to this show every single Sunday, 7:00, right here on COARadio.com and SocietyBitesRadio.com. You can find us 7:00 Eastern Standard Time right here. Tonight we have Joe Zook and Billy Holt. Why don't we do another tune, Joe? We got about 15 minutes left.
You were talking about lyrics before, and the last song we just did, it was tough to get the lyrics, but I got them to paint the picture. And I thought to myself, I sat down one time with my guitar, and I thought, well, what? I never write these here Moon, June, tune type songs.
Right.
So I said, let me try my hand at writing the simplest lyrics possible to almost the simplest music you could get and see what happens. And that's I Love My Baby.
That's track number 3.
Track number 2.
Track number 2.
And I wrote it for my wife, Donna. But I just figured, let me write one I Love You song, because it's the only one that I ever did.
Really?
Yes,
All these years you've never
That's right.
written a love song?
that's right.
The rest are all angry songs.
The rest are all filled with imagery.
You know, very few people can paint pictures with their words. as songwriters.
Yeah.
Some of the ones just from our era, I guess, that come to mind real quick are, of course, Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Bob Seger, I thought, always did very well at that. Tom Petty, I felt, could really convey that sort of thing. Yeah, but it's tough to with the written word to convey, make people think, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, right. That's the challenge.
There is a great songwriter, and today I still listen to this album, and it came out like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's an indie album, and he's a guy from the Asbury Park area. Is hands down one of the greatest songwriters I've ever encountered in my lifetime. The Williams Boy is another one that can paint pictures with his words. But this guy, his name is George Worth. He is the most amazing. It's like he's got a paintbrush in your mind. And
Wow.
he has a song called, the album I'm referring to is his last one. It's called The Last Good Kiss. And it's just, I just don't know how it didn't get nominated somehow for a Grammy Award or some kind of Golden Globe, Oscar. I don't care what it is. It should have been nominated for something.
Right.
He did get an Asbury Music Award. He got like 5 of them for that album. He's I don't want to say folk because he's not folk, but he's a singer songwriter type of guy. It's usually just him and acoustic guitar. Every now and then he puts a little violin behind some of his stuff, or maybe a little hand percussion. But other than that, it's amazing.
Great.
And he talks about places like Springsteen talks about.
Yeah.
You can drive through any street in Asbury Park. And it's probably in a Springsteen song.
Picture it in your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
And he does the same type of thing. He's got, Monroe Avenue, Memorial Drive, talks about certain things. Put a quarter on my tombstone or a nickel on my tombstone, that little military thing. And he's just absolutely amazing. Got that queued up, Art? All right. This is track number 2.
The simplest thing possible.
This is Joe Zook's. The simplistic Joe Zook. That'll be the box set.
That's correct.
Have one tune.
The essential.
The essential Zook. There it is. Off of Good Morning Blues. I love my baby.
I love my baby more than she'll ever know. I love my baby more than she'll ever know. I got to have her with me everywhere I go. Well, I want you to know I love my little girl. I want you to know I love my little girl. I love her more than anything in this world. tell you no lie. Please listen to me right now, and I won't tell you no lie. If I lose my baby, sure enough I'm bound to die.
Joe Zook and Blues Deluxe. And his tune off of Good Morning Blues, I Love My Baby. Yeah. So, Joe, what do you think of that?
Well,
I wrote that one in 5 minutes. Very simple lyrics.
Wow. Joe, Billy does Joe better than Joe.
Joe at 6 o'clock in the morning.
So what's it like playing in Blues Deluxe? How long you been with them guys?
I've been with Joe since 1979.
Okay, so you've been there pretty much from the start.
Actually, I replaced the original bass player.
Okay.
Was only with him for about, I guess, a year or two. I started filling in. It was during the Billy D's Rum Runner
Days.
when he played Friday night and Saturday night, and I told you how they built it
Right.
on Wednesday night. And the weeknights, Monday and Wednesday, Frank, the original bass player, he couldn't do the weeknight. Okay, so I started filling in for him. And then I guess he moved out to California, got married, and that's when I became full time. And been with Joe ever since.
Okay.
This year will be 40 years.
Wow.
So yeah.
Most bands don't last that long.
No,
Right,
it's-
you know,
it's,
I mean, seriously,
yeah, oh,
that is the truth. And again, that's for various reasons and things of that nature. But most bands just
played with other bands in the interim, and but you know, it's my number one thing right here. Drop everything to do this. Yeah.
to do the Zook Meister.
I was playing you for a couple of minutes. Hope you don't mind. Hon. You sound something like this, don't you?
Yeah, that's right, Bill.
Oh gosh. All right, so now you got this disc out, and you know Billy was just saying he's been jamming with you for 40 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you've only got 3 CDs.
Yeah, well, they're expensive.
Yes, I understand.
Actually, we back in the '80s we did a 45.
Right,
record,
we had a 45
and then we did a cassette
cassette tape.
pre CD days.
All right.
So that's
We were always doing something every few years. This has been a long time since 2003 to now. That's a long time.
So why? Well, I mean, other than the cost, I get that. When you did it at Tommy Rioch's joint, Squirrel Ranch Studios, you said. What was Tommy's role in the thing? Was he just the engineer? Did he do any production work for you? Did he do?
Tommy engineered the rhythm section. Me, Billy, and Jeff, and whoever was playing keyboard.
Okay.
And he engineered it, and he got the sound. As far as doing some production, I wouldn't say that he did.
Okay.
That was mostly Ernie.
All right. Hey, Ernie did all the mixing and
Yeah.
who mastered it?
Suha Gur.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Suha. He's been in here before.
I was in a band with him too, Gunsmoke.
Were you in Gunsmoke?
Yeah.
I thought I'd seen you in here because you guys came when we were on Hamilton Radio. The whole band showed up.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
You weren't there
I
for
been
that?
on vacation or something. Yeah, I think I was away.
Suha was there.
Okay, yeah.
Jimmy was there.
Johnny T. And,
Yeah.
okay.
How about
Rick
that?
Baldessari.
Yep.
on guitar.
Everybody was there. I
Yeah.
thought you were there.
No,
Guess
I
not.
missed out on that one.
No.
I think I listened. I listened to that
Did you?
broadcast. Yeah.
So you're familiar with this.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to hear
A little bit.
that. and yet you came in tonight.
Yeah.
Joe's like, I got to see if I can get somebody to go with me. I'll call Billy. It's kind of like, let's get Mikey.
He'll do anything.
So you have 3 CDs, and that's that.
Yeah, for
You
now.
know, well, that's fine. I mean, that's great. Because in the words of, I interviewed Ann Wilson from Heart one time, and she was doing a solo thing, and I said, "Why are you only doing an EP? You know, I'm thinking to myself, you're Ann Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you only doing a?" She said, "Because I'd rather do 4 songs really well than 8 to 10
Yeah.
with only 4 songs that are really
Right.
well, and the
Right.
rest are okay." You know,
You have to have them enough material
right?
to
Mhm.
carry it.
Correct. So,
Right.
so obviously you're not in any hurry to put CDs out, you know, to your adoring public.
Well, this just came out. This came as a sort of an afterthought because I wrote a lot of these songs after I got better, you know, starting to feel better, and I started to write stuff that had to do with what I went through. You know,
Okay.
it's kind of encrypted in code. Some of the songs, you know,
Therapy.
but we have this available on CD Baby and Amazon and all those.
So it's on all the usual
Spotify.
suspects. All right.
Yeah, they can go on Spotify and do their thing on
Or to
that.
your
I'm
web-
not too good at all that stuff.
Or to your website, which is what again?
Website is joezookblues.com.
Oh, and all that can be found there. All the
Yeah,
links,
you
I'm
can
sure.
find all that stuff
Go on
there.
YouTube also, and
Yeah, YouTube.
has some video stuff on YouTube.
All right. Well, we got about 3 minutes left. You don't have anything less than 3 minutes on there. I'd say there's plenty.
No, I wasn't trying to write anything that's short.
Okay, that's understandable.
I think the last tune we did was about 3 minutes. I Love My Baby.
That's the shortest.
I think that's the shortest song on the record. Yeah.
Okay, and that was a love song.
Right.
Love song.
Obviously, the non-angry song.
The only.
That's
why it was only 3 minutes.
That's why it's only 3 minutes.
That's
It's
right.
easy to be
Like
angry.
it now. Like a mustard.
You can only be happy for
For
like
love.
3 minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
Blues.
After that.
The extent of love. and
After that,
blues.
people start asking you what's wrong.
Right.
Why are you so
They think you're up to something. What do you?
Reminds me from a line of the Bronx Tale. Would you rather be loved or hated?
happy?
I think I'd rather be hated. Hate lasts
Yeah,
longer.
Love My Baby is 303.
303. So what's next for Joe Zook? I know you got gigs. And,
Yeah, we're
and-
just gonna gig now and try to expand our horizons a little bit.
Okay.
We've we made contact with some people in the business that might be able to help us out down the road with some festivals and various gigs. You know,
Yeah, if you want those like big festivals down the shore, or
that's
Yeah,
tough to
sure.
do. I mean, we
You
did
gotta
a big
apply in like
festival down the shore.
November.
Mhm.
You know.
It's tough to repeat. They don't want to repeat. Once you do it, you know what I mean. It's just you're done.
It's like renting a shore house. You have to really go. What last year?
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to go. All right. Well, Joe and Billy, thank you so much for
Our
taking the
pleasure.
time.
Thanks for having
has
us.
been. It has been. Oh, there you go, Joe. Thank you.
That's all right.
It has been an extreme honor and pleasure to have you.
That's
in
nice
here,
of you to say,
you know.
Dan. It's the same here.
It is. Well, thank you, sir. You know, a lot of people don't realize some of the great music that comes out of Trenton, New Jersey.
That's a valid point.
Or and how some of you guys have been doing it for years on end. Like Billy said, 40 years. You guys,
Yeah,
Playing
we've
together.
been together 40 years, Billy and I.
most in a year where or an era where most marriages don't last more than 10, and a band is like a marriage.
It is in a
because
way.
it's- Yeah, it's good for you. And Trenton scene's a lot better, and I always enjoy coming out to the bar to see you.
Yeah, come on out, Dan.
You know. All right. Once again, this has been Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman for Art, Claire, Joe Zook, and Billy Holt. Thank you all for listening. Until next week, when we have Carl Chesna. Rock on.